यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राम यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव राधे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय प्रभुपदा शिला प्रभुपदा निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी श्री शिखरंताय मायापुर शशि की शिला प्रभुपाद की reading from Prabhupada, your ever well-wisher, Shishikarantai Mayapur Sashi ki jai. The marker is in the right place, right? So, family businesses? Okay. Reading from our family business, The Great Art of Distributing Srila Prabhupada Books. Chapter entitled The Ambassador of Goodwill. My prayers are answered. It was obvious that someone had heard my prayers, for on each page of the magazine were answers to my deepest inquiries. Why do I have to die? Is God a person? What is the best way to know God? One article, Liberation of the Cave Dwellers, by Hayagriva Das, was based on a famous analogy in Plato's Republic. The article pointed out that people living in material consciousness are ignorant of the spiritual world. The author compared them to cave dwellers who have never stepped out of their cave and seen the sun. How could they understand the world of light? He asked. Someone would have to come from outside the cave, explain the power and magnificence of the sun, and somehow demonstrate what it was like. To do so, the teacher might have to let in a beam of light and project it on the wall of the cave. The cave dwellers' education would have to begin slowly because they might not even believe in something so fantastical as the sun. My room is the cave, I thought, and this magazine is the light. Someone's come to rescue me and show me the way out. back to the source of the light. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 11, Text 26. And we'll do 27 as well. That's the last chapter of this chapter and hasn't got a purport. Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Stanyam Yatha Vatsatara Shuddha Artha Stanyam Yatha Vatsatara Shuddhartha Priyam Priyaiva Vyusitam Vishanna Priyam Priyaiva Vyusitam Vishanna Mano Arvindaksha Tidrikshate Tvam Mano Arvindaksha Tidrikshate Tvam Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Stanyam Yathavat Satara Shuddhartha Priyam Priyaiva Vyusitam Vishanna Mano Ravindaksha Didrakshate Tvam Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Stanyam Yathavat Satara Shuddhartha Priyam Priyaiva Vyusitam Vishanna Mano Ravindaksha Didrakshate Tvam. Please chant. Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Mano Ravindaksha Didrakshate Tvam. Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Sanyam yathavat satara shuddhartha priyam priyeva vishitam visanna manoravindasya didikshate tvam ajata paksha iva mataram khaga sanyam yathavat satara priyam priyeva vishitam visanna manoravindasya didikshate tvam. Anyone else? Ajata Paksha, who have not yet grown wings, either like Mataram, the mother, Khaga, small birds, Stanyam, the milk from the other, Yatha, just as, Vatsatara, the young calves, Shudartha, distressed by hunger, Priyam, the beloved or husband, Priya, the wife or lover, Eva, like, Vyusitam, who is away from home, Vishanna, morose, Mana, my mind, Arvindaksha, O lotus-eyed one, Didrikshate, wants to see, Tvam, you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small calves, tied with ropes, await anxiously the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers. Or as a morose wife, whose husband is away from home, always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Purport. A pure devotee always yearns to associate personally with the Lord and render service unto Him. The examples given in this regard are most appropriate. A small baby bird is practically never satisfied except when the mother bird comes to feed it. A small calf is not satisfied unless the unless allowed to suck the milk from the mother's udder. And a chaste devoted wife whose husband is away from home is never satisfied until she has the association of her beloved husband. And just read 27 as well. मम उत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमत स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्माययात्मजदारे गहेषु आसक्तचित्तस्य न नाथ भूयात्. O my Lord, my Master, I am wandering throughout this material world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. My attachment to my body, wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy. But I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything I have be attached only to you. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose to the 6th canto, 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Transcendental Qualities of Vritrasura. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराणाम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपां बुद्धिर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा kindly bless me that I become the first recipient, or at least I should be the first recipient of the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, or what we are discussing, what we have been discussing, and what we aim to discuss today, or what we discuss today. The acharyas of our commentary say, Siddhasya lakshanam yat syat, sadhanam sadhakasya tat. Siddhasya, one who is a perfected being. Lakshanam, the symptoms, the natural tendency, proclivity, the nature. So, what is the natural tendency, proclivity, the natural nature of a pure devotee? Sadhanam sadhakasyata, that is effort for us. That is effort for us. For a pure devotee of Krishna, bhakti is effortless. And in all genuineness, actually, bhakti is effortless. It is a rati of the soul, the function, the kriya of the soul proper. So, for a pure devotee of Krishna, bhakti is completely effortless. And for a sadhaka, bhakti is full of efforts. Should be efforts actually. And this is what Acharya says. So, we should follow in the teachings of the Acharyas. We should follow in the teachings of the Acharyas. A sadhaka is one who aspires to be a pure devotee of Krishna. That should be the aspiration. And by following in the footsteps of a pure devotee of Krishna. Again, I'm helping myself here understand by your kind blessings. This udgar, this expression of love, is Vritrasura's expression of love. This is Vritrasura saying all this here. This has not become my personal experience yet, personal realization yet. So I shouldn't try to never entertain any thoughts or things in my mind, in my head, in terms of that, okay, I'm nowhere close to associating with these prayers, what Vritrasura is praying here and saying here. And it is on, but yet this is the aspiration. This is the aspiration. And this can only come true only when I associate the devotees of Krishna, as it says in text 26, 27 as well. Once a sweet devotee, actually in Karuna Bhavan, asked, what is the process of devotional service? So we understand the process of devotional service is reading, hearing, chanting. That is there. It brings purification, lots and lots of purification. The acharyas, what Mahaprabhu given us, is the process of bhakti in anugatya. Like we aspire to become Rupa Nugas. Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, our principal acharya say, and Anuga, Rupa Nuga, one who follows the acharyas. So this is what we aspire to follow in the footsteps of acharyas. So if I miss this, the crux, the main point of following acharyas, following in the footsteps of pure devotees, and keeping this aside, if I continue with reading, hearing, chanting, everything good, that will bring purification. But attainment of Krishna and attainment of the bhav, what Mahaprabhu has come to give us, that won't come about until and unless I learn how to associate with devotees of Mahaprabhu. So, what the thing to for me to understand, learn, is how to associate with devotees of Krishna. The day I learn how am I associating with the devotees of Krishna and people in general, then Krishna will be even more closer. Krishna will be coming from the front. And this is what all about followership. So, otherwise, practicing Krishna consciousness, otherwise, reading, hearing, chanting, it might happen that I am just accumulating purification. But if I follow the footsteps of pure devotees, we want to be pure, definitely. But ultimate aim is what? Attaining the shelter of the lotus feet of the divine couple. That is the ultimate aim. We are not after just purity. And that would come about when we associate with the devotees of Krishna. And how glorious Vitasura's prayers, especially like these four verses from 24 to 27, they are tremendously glorious. Acharyas have given good commentaries, lots of commentaries around it. And the 22 and 23 kind of sets a mood, a tone where Vitasura is heading, or where is he heading towards. So like in 23, 22, he says like Pumsam Kilekanta Dhyam Swakanam Yasampodo Divi Bhumau Rasayam. So Kilekanta Dhyam Swakanam, one who is ekant, one pointed attention meditating on Krishna, Krishna considers as them his own. So for me to take, okay, Krishna, kindly consider me as your own, as in your inner chamber, say, there has to be one pointed, exclusive attention, meditation on the divine couple. And what does he do then? Narati. He doesn't bestow. Narati. What does he not bestow? Uh, Wealth. Wealth brings a lot of agitation, actually, anxiety, conflict, all these things. He wouldn't bestow upon his devotees, whom he consider his own. He wouldn't bestow anything which is not good for one's devotional service. And further on, Vitrasura says that I do not aspire heavenly planets, lower planetary systems, earthly planet, and all. I do not aspire any of this. And then he further goes Vitrasura. See, we understand the problem is what the real problem is. As Lord Rishabdev in Srimad Bhagavatam 558, we understand, he explains the real problem is like Janasya aham moho aham mameti. I, me, and mine is the problem. It's all self centeredness. I, me, and mine is the problem. And how Vitrasura is so beautifully purifying the I, me, and mine. When he begins his stuti, say, from text 24, aham haretav padeka moolam dasanudaso bhavitasme bhuya. So the purification of I, me, and mine is what? I will exist, me will also exist, mine will also exist. But dasanudaso, he is relating his I, me, and mine, all existence, hankering for what? For the association of the devotees of Krishna. So always aspiring for association means more training, more knowing about Krishna. If I'm hungry to know about Krishna, then yes, association is the key. That is what Vitasura is praying, aspiring for. Again, who is praying this? And look at the prayers. So I should never entertain that, yes, this has become my realization, or no, not yet. So that is the purification of I, me, and mine. Gopi Bharta Pada Kamlyor Dasa Dasanudasa. And this Vitasura knows, and he's beginning his stuti say from in here. Then further on, he goes and says, Tvevargi kaya savigata asmat. I do not aspire again, whatever within these three worlds. So, which is good. Okay, we understand what he is not aspiring, what he doesn't want, what he's not hankering for. Now, coming to this verse, today's he's saying like, uh, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother, when would they return and feed us? A baby calf looks for her mom, when would my mother come and feed me? And a morose wife looks for her husband who is away from, say, home, away from country, and when will he return? Hmm? So now this is the prayer, this is the heartfelt aspiration Vitta Sura is expressing here. And see, well, there could be a very good prayer, very good prayer, but the mood of devotional service has to be ever excelling. It has to be ever excelling. Otherwise, we cannot try to catch Krishna, because he's very fickle. Krishna is very chanchala. He's always excelling in that sense. So if we also excel, and if we see in this prayer, right, Ajat Paksha Iva Mataram Khagam. So such a good bhav, right? Good mood, that as baby birds wait for their mother to arrive, Krishna, I'm waiting for you, in a very helpless, just like desperation, situation of desperation. As like baby birds is desperate for the mom to arrive, he's expressing his desperation. But there is a catch here. It's very good. Just the catch is, once the mum arrives, the baby bird is fed. Ajat Paksha, right? The bird has not grown wings yet. But when the mum arrives, the baby bird is fed and all. Once the bird starts having wings, what do we see? Mum is in one direction, the bird is in another direction. Right? So it's good, that desperation is good, but it's not very sustainable, continued desperation. Once the bird is grown, the bird goes in direction, the mother goes in one direction. Same. So he says, same like Stanyam yatha vatsatara shudartha. A baby calf, he's waiting for his mother when she will come and feed me and feed. And that relationship, the mother and the calf shares, the kicking, the carrying, the loving, the licking, and everything. So good, Krishna. This is just like a calf, in a very helpless, restless. Always, when the mother is away, the calf is just thinking of the mother. The calf is just thinking. When the mother bird is away, the baby bird is thinking of mother bird. So, in sadhana stage, we have to aspire to come of this stage, or pray. When do I experience separation from Krishna? When, and this japa, the whole process. See, look at the paradox. The whole process is helping me understand separation from Krishna. Have we ever entered into any process wherein we indulge and we find ourselves okay in separation? Generally speaking, education, if I indulge myself in learning, education, and all, do I find separation? No. The thing is, the more I study, the more I gain, the more I know the subject matter. Say, sports currently, World Cup football going on and all, and the more I go into it, yes. But in here, like, the achievement is to realize separation from Krishna, and only then desperation would come about, prayers would come about. Until and unless I feel that separation from Krishna, I cannot chant, then I cannot really call out if I do not, am not feeling that separation. And again, this is not my, this is what Vitrasura is experiencing. And this is what pure devotees experience. So he's saying like, when a calf is waiting for the mother cow to come and feed. But and again we see, once the calf is grown up and all, then she's no more as such waiting for the mother cow to come and feed. No, mother cows also, when the next child is born, say the grown up child, little less care, less attention, and when the child herself is grown up, she also is not that ways waiting and hankering. How the mood is good, but not wholesomely sustainable. So Vitasura goes further on. Priyam Priyaiva Vyusitam Visanna Manoravindaksha Didrakshate Tvam. Now, just as a morose wife, a wife who is in waiting for husband is far off and is waiting when he arrives. Now, translation says morose wife, and this moroseness is again aspiration, aspired. This is transcendental sort of moroseness, and this separation, this waiting. This is the thing we should aim for. In this human form of life, at least I should aim for developing attachment towards Krishna. Minimum, bare minimum attachment towards Krishna. Then further on, aim for separation or bhav, and further on. So the wife, what Vedic literature says, say this lady, she's all the while days, months, looking at the calendar, crossing the dates. Okay, 1 month gone, next month gone, next month gone, and like okay, 12 after 12 months, my husband will return. The day is coming and all. And as the day comes closer, closer, the more and more she's like, when will, okay, he would be coming now. Now, this day, he would be taking the plane now, going through immigration, whatnot, and further and all. Huh? And returning home. And throughout this, she's preparing. And when the husband comes, okay, I clean the house, cook food what he likes, dress myself nicely, put on makeup, whatnot and all, and to receive. And also, it's not like okay, received and one day or a weekend over, okay, sort of back to square one. No, that is not how love is actually. Love means something expanding. This is what the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, ever expanding. So the wife is in anticipation of when my husband, when my lover arrives, and then serve and also further on that loving relationship. And this is the prayer, this is the expression of love Vritasura is expressing to Krishna. Just one more thing, whenever we say Krishna, we never mean Ekaki Krishna, as in Krishna and Krishna only. No. Whenever acharyas, whenever in commentaries and all we'll find Krishna, it is Radha Krishna, Yugala Sarkar, as in Tulsi Maharani's also prayers and Acharya's prayers we see. Radha Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 456 we see Radha Krishna एक आत्मा दुई दे धरी अन्य अन्य विलसने रसा स्वादन करी. So the bhav, the mood, what our acharyas are giving us, until and unless I find, say, my absorption, and until and unless I understand this, also until and unless I understand my spiritual identity, my spiritual role, there is no way I can keep myself away from the distractions of this world. I may become good, attain goodness, but Mahaprabhu doesn't want us to be stuck there. Mahaprabhu wants us to get into Vrindavan mood altogether. And this is what the Acharyas also want us to have. And separation. In societal terms, we see the more lacking I feel. Oh, I'm lacking in having money. I'm lacking in having mobile phone, I'm lacking in having, say, a house, this, that sort of lacking tells me incompleteness, unfulfillment. Hmm? It brings a sense of incompleteness and this. But this transcendental lacking, it will never bring a sense of incompleteness. Okay, maybe I'll take a pause here. If there are any questions or comments, please. Yes, bro.
Thank you very much for your class, Bruce. Lots of points there that you've revived an interest in many things that I haven't thought about for a long time. Thank you very much for that. In the verse, not the verse prior to the last verse, where Vitrasura says, "Let me always have the association of pious and advanced devotees, and let me renounce my attachment to home, family." Um, so, from my understanding, that verse would indicate that the home and family that Vitrasura is referring to are not pious and pure devotees. So he's, however, in ISKCON, and especially as ISKCON develops more and more, and we have many children of devotees, and as the generations of ISKCON become mixed together, then, like often, the pure devotees are our family members, they are our friends, they are our family, and they're on different levels of devotion. Some of them are mixed devotees, some of them are pure devotees, and we don't even know. We often discuss that. Even Srila Prabhupada said that many of the children who are born into devotee families are Vaikuntha children. So how can when we read these kind of verses, how can we apply these verses to our present situation within ISKCON?
The center of life has to be understood again. Kunti Maharani Pandavas, they were one family, and they all knew. Kunti Maharani in her prayers also says like, this pass as in this bond, this connection. Let me cut this this bond. Even like, look at the position Kunti Maharani is praying that such is my state. This is not her state, definitely. The prayers of a pure devotee, and this is what a pure devotee would feel, always humble, always humble. So Kunti Maharani prays that I come, my maternal side is from your side, Krishna, my paternal side as well, the Pandavas, they are your this. So let me cut this bond wherein I see my sons as these are my sons, and also my brother as Vasudev as my brother and all. But cut this vision that I see them as my sons, blood oriented. No, give me this vision that I see them as yours in relation to you. So, yes, why not? Mahaprabhu's Leela, the opposite elements, deer and tiger coming and embracing each other. So, the center of life has to be understood. Once I find my center, the center of my existence altogether, then I would not have conflict with anyone. And what to speak of a family? Family is anyways it's a devotee oriented family, devotional family, then the center should be Radha Krishna, and that center is there. Then we have no other way to become a pure devotee of Krishna. No other thought. There's nothing other than becoming a pure devotee of Krishna. If that somewhat answer your question. Thank you. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. A sadhaka should always genuinely feel that he is always in short of time. One who realizes this, that I have everything but not time. Not time. Time is not enough. And that is the thing. For a sadhaka, he would never find that I've got enough time. As in, I've got enough time to practice Krishna consciousness, to increase rounds, to do whatever and all. And generally in society, devotees are going out to distribute books and all. Another day, another time. I don't have time. I don't have time, sort of. Or so a sadhaka should always feel that he is always in short of time, and we are, I think, over time. Thank you very much for your kind encouragement and appreciation. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Bhakta Ashish Prabhu ki. Jai.